Hello, my beautiful Tauruses. Welcome to your season. It's Taurus season right now. Happy birthday to all of you Tauruses out there. This is going to be your May reading. I hope everybody's May has started off really well. Actually, last month was so interesting. Taurus was my highest watched video. So thank you, Tauruses, for chiming in and watching. Let's see what Spirit has in store for you this month. So what energy can we look forward to this month for my Tauruses? We got the Sun reversed and the Ace of Pentacles upright. And what lessons are my Tauruses learning this month? Thank you. We got the Justice card reversed, and then the Three of Swords reversed. And what is the spiritual guidance? Thank you, Spirit. We got the Six of Pentacles reversed. And then what is the overall energy that my Tauruses are going to be navigating this month? Thank you. We got the Sun of Swords upright. Okay, so I'm gonna pull some clarifiers for you all. Let's see, I wanna use this deck. Let's pull some clarifiers for you all on this, Taurus, and then we'll get into your reading. So we are also in eclipse season. We had our solar eclipse on the 30th. Today is May 2nd, and we will have a full lunar eclipse on May 15th. So a lot is moving around for a lot of people. Tauruses, how are you navigating right now? Okay, let me see. Let me get a clarifier for this Ace of Coins and the Sun card reverse, please, Spirit. Clarifier for this first set. Thank you. So we got Shadow reversed and Recognition. Can I get a clarifier for this Three of Swords and Justice, please? Clarifier for the lesson that my Tauruses are learning, please. Thank you. Disruption. Clarifier for the spiritual guidance. Sacrifice. And a clarifier for the overall energy, please, Spirit. Thank you. Transformation, partnership, and alliances, both upright. Okay. So here we go, Taurus. Let's dive in. So what you have to look forward to this month, or what is coming, is we have the Ace of Pentacles upright and then the Sun reversed. So almost as if, I think, Tauruses, you've been really focused on yourself recently. You've been really shining a light on your life and what you're doing, but there is something here in the physical reality, like a new beginning in the physical reality. And what I'm getting here is, with the Sun reversed, usually the Sun is all about like you and you being the light and you being the source, but with it reversed, it's almost like, I think you're going to be like shifting your perspective or your light and your energy towards something else or someone else in your physical reality. So with that, we had Recognition and Reward, and then Shadow reversed. So this could be someone that you're acknowledging in your life that deserves some recognition and reward, in the sense of honoring them for who they've been in your life, for how they've shown up for you, for possibly what you've learned from them. You know, there's something here around recognizing somebody or something that's really, really important to you, and not letting that go unsaid anymore. It's almost as if you're ready to come out of the shadow here and speak your truth about what that person or that thing really means to you, you know, really giving it the recognition that it deserves and the energy that it deserves. So whatever this is in your life, take a moment to think about that, Taurus. Like, where is it that you've been really almost sacredly selfish for yourself, but where is it that now it feels like almost like this month you're ready to open up and you're ready to share who you are and what you want, and the recognition towards that person or that thing that has been so influential in your life up until this point, or for however long they've been there. But with the shadow reverse, it's like you're coming out of the shadows, you're coming out of the darkness, you're coming out of these you know, our shadow is never something to be feared or never something to really run away from, but like our shadows and the things that we see as shadows can actually be our superpower, can actually be the thing that catapults us into our most powerful, most embodied self. But we have to be able to look at that. And I feel like you guys have been looking at that. You have been understanding your shadow aspects, and you're coming out of the shadows now and are stepping back into the light. So instead of just being that sacredly selfish sun, you're about to shine the light on someone or something in your life that is really, really meaningful to you, that has been really, I keep getting the term anchored, like somebody that helps keep you anchored and grounded, or something that helps keep you anchored and grounded into really the truth of who you are, right? Like maybe you weren't seeing it yourself, or maybe you saw yourself a different way, but they saw you differently, or they reflected something back in a different way to you almost. So it's almost as if the word that anchored that keeps coming through, it's almost as if they are, whoever this is or that thing is that is really important, has helped keep you anchored and grounded in who you are and the truth of who you are, so you can come out of the shadows. So you have learned what this like darkness is within you. And yeah, it's just like, it really feels like everything's coming to the surface and about to be offered in the physical reality, that recognition and reward for that person or that thing. Like you're finally ready to speak your truth on something, Taurus. And so what were the lessons that we are looking at this month? We have the Justice and then the Three of Swords, both reversed, and then the Disruption card, which this is a Tower card. So Taurus, the lesson here was when you keep things hidden, the Justice card, when it's reversed like this, is like lies, or, you know, there's an imbalance or something that's being hidden. There's something that's not being, you're not being truthful to yourself or to the situation. And then this card here, the Three of Swords, usually denotes like a third party situation, or denotes there's like too many people involved in the situation. So maybe you were trying to date two people at once and you were keeping that secret, and literally your Tower card, like your whole life felt like it fell apart. You know, I'm not sure exactly what's happening here, but it's like you had to dismantle and uncover all the deception, all the lies, all the things that maybe you weren't showing up as, or you weren't being truthful about, either to that person or yourself. And with this Three of Swords, so it's just like an entanglement. Like if you look at all these swords being tied up, there's an entanglement, and this could be karmic contracts with somebody else, karmic debts that you've had to pay with somebody else. Maybe you were with somebody and you thought that your relationship with them would be similar to the relationship that you had with that other person. And so you kind of like tied yourself up in that, or like left the situation and broke down the situation, like tore down this foundation that was being built due to what you thought was, it was almost like a lie that you made up of that, this new relationship being the same as the old relationship. And so it really, it's like that was something deceptive that you did, not only to protect yourself, but it wasn't actually true, you know, but literally the whole thing came crumbling down. And when we think about disruption or the Tower card, this is literally our whole foundation like crumbling. This is what we had been building, burning to the ground and like being dismantled ultimately. And so that's your lesson this month, is understanding where you have been in these entanglements, or where things that weren't actually true with whatever this other situation is, like you're starting to see the truth of that, that it was all either something that you had, you know, spun up or made up in your mind, but never really gave it room to breathe, or you were dating two people at once. Like, I don't know, maybe there was something where you weren't being truthful, 100% truthful around the situation and around what it was that either you wanted or that you or even maybe not even wanted as a word, or that you needed. Like maybe you weren't 100% truthful around what you needed, and so you felt like this was going to be this, like, if you can look here, he's got like a straitjacket on, but he's broken up and dismantled into separate pieces, you know, but it's like you thought that you were going to be like maybe lose your freedom, or you thought you were going to be tied down, or you thought that it was going to be something that was really constricting. And I think you're seeing that maybe it wasn't, or maybe you're seeing now this month that it really wasn't what you thought it was going to be, and that there was more breathing room for you, and it was something that you had made up based on something in your past. Like that's what I'm getting very, very strongly. Something that you made up from your past. And so now you're getting to see both sides of the coin. You're getting to see both sides of the situation, bringing lightness to the dark, to the shadow stuff. Okay, so that's the lesson that you're learning this month, is understanding kind of like where you have literally kind of tied yourself up and put yourself in your own kind of like self-imposed prison, and then how that really burnt or broke down that foundation that you were building with that person or that thing in your life. And so what is the spiritual guidance? We got the 6 of Coins, which is all about, you know, foundation and family. This is reversed. And then sacrifice. And so what's interesting here is I just think that there is, I don't necessarily know that this card is 100% saying that you have to make a sacrifice, but in order to have what you want, in order to have the foundation of what you want, and in order to cultivate and grow the reality that you want in your physical life, like whether that's familial or the foundation that you're wanting to have. The number 6 is all about foundation. It is all about family. It is all about the things that we're building in our life, right? And the coin suit denotes our physical reality. It denotes money. It denotes, you know, our home and the job that we have. So, I mean, if you're really wanting whatever these foundations are to be built, there has to be some sort of sacrifice. But I'm not seeing it in the sense of like, you're going to have to let go of your freedom. Like, that's not what I'm getting. It's more of like, you have to sacrifice your old ideas around what that is to you. How can I put this more clearly, Spirit? So it's almost like, okay, can you see how she's like looking off in the distance, and she's kind of like, it's almost like, oh, I thought this was one way, but I'm actually seeing this from a different perspective now. And there's this like rainbow coming out from behind her, and all these like blossoms behind her. And as she like opens up and expands, it's almost as if you're needing to expand your horizon, expand your perspective, because you've only been seeing things in this one channel or this one way is what I'm getting. And so it's not so much the sacrifice, like you don't have to give up anything except your old ideas of having the things that you want, that they come with sacrifice, right? Like it's not that, like you don't have to sacrifice your freedom. You don't have to give up who you are. You don't have to give up the things that you love in order to have the things that you want. There is someone or something out there, and if you're in the right alignment with who you are and what you want and what you need, that person or that thing becomes a physical match to that, right? So you don't have to, like, I almost feel like this sacrifice, like the word sacrifice is really interesting because like my guides have even said like the word sacrifice is not part of your vocabulary anymore. And so like I don't have to give up anything to have the things that I want, right? That's what spirit, my guides keep telling me. And so I just keep opening up and expanding to, well, how does it get better than this? And how, you know, what's the best that can happen? You know, like I want to open up to the unexpected. I want to open up to new viewpoints. I want to learn more. I want to expand. I want to continue to expand. I want to continue to let things in that light me up and bring me joy and make me say fuck yes, and you know, ultimately let me have this orgasmic life. I want all of those things, and I don't want to have to sacrifice anything for that, right? So that's why it's like, it's almost as if the sacrifice is just letting go of your old beliefs, your old self, the old paradigm of what it means to have a family, of what it means to have foundation, of what it means to have these things in your life, a home, and the things in your life that you think it will look like one way. But what if you let go of the fear and that other, of that like limited perspective, right? Of that one way of seeing it, and broaden your perspective to see and sacrifice the old way of seeing things for the new way of seeing things, for broadening the perspective, for seeing things from a different viewpoint and a different angle, for letting more light in and more facets of what that reality could actually be, right? Blossoming into that, opening yourself up to it, expanding your container and saying, yeah, I want to know what else is out there. Like, okay, let's say this has to do with the relationship, right? Like maybe it's something here, foundation with relationship. Maybe your idea is, oh, if I'm in a relationship, I have to give up everything I love. I have to like bend to the will of this other person. I have to spend all my time with them, and I have to give them what they want, and I lose myself in that, right? Like that's a limited viewpoint. And if that's all you've experienced up until this point, like, I'm sorry that that is what you've experienced, you know, like a real conscious relationship, somebody will give you your space, will allow you to be who you're going to be, will not try to change you to bend to their will. Like that is codependency. That is somebody having either gaslighting you or having manipulation over you, right? Like that's not what a healthy relationship is. And when you're in a healthy relationship, it's somebody showing up for you and you showing up for them. It's not 50-50, it's 100-100. And when you need space, you both can ask for that. There's communication, there's unconditional love, there's reciprocity, you know, like it's not about sacrificing, it's about communicating your needs and your wants and like asking for them, stating what it is and being clear about that, right? So let's say that this is home life, right? Like maybe your idea of home, you've always seen something around like buying a house, right? And like having that white picket fence. Like that may not be your, you know, like in your mind that might be out of reach for you, but it's like your home and your foundation and home can be something completely different. This could mean like buying a van or a bus and living in it if that's what you want to do, you know, like buying a piece of land and building a tiny home on it. Like that's something you could do, you know, possibly buying a condo somewhere else that is maybe less expensive and starting over somewhere else that you still love, you know? It doesn't have to look like what you think it has always looked like. That is my whole point here. So whatever it is foundationally that you've been looking at something, and the spiritual guidance here is to shift your perspective of how you've been looking at whatever those foundational things are in your life, whether that's relationship, whether that is home life, whether that is your career, right? These can all, like, when we let go of the old paradigm, when we let go of our limited way of viewing things, and we ask the universe or source or spirit or whatever you want to call it, your guides, your angels, whatever, and when you ask them for support into showing you something different, into giving you or showing you how it gets better, or what is a different perspective in which I can see this, you'll begin to start to get those viewpoints. You'll begin to start to get messages. You'll begin to start to see people on social media living in a different way or showing up in a different way. And you're like, oh, maybe this is possible for me, right? And so you just have to expand and let that in. Okay. I hope that was thorough enough for you guys. I felt like I spent a lot of time on that one. Okay, and so your overall energy, we have the Son of Swords here. And then your clarifiers, we had transformation and partnerships and alliances. So what I'm seeing for you, Taurus, is like you already know. You've got your sights set on someone or something. Maybe it's this thing that you are ready to shine light on and come out of the shadows and share this new physical, you know, reality with, and this recognition and reward, right, of the like importance of that person or that thing in your life. And I feel like this, like you're having this big transformation. You're coming into your own physical transition and transformation. You're coming out of your chrysalis. You've got your wings now. You can see she's winged here. You've got your sights set. Like he's got his wings, he's got his sights set, and he is like dive bombing whatever he is looking at. And so it's like, I feel like you're coming into a partnership or an alliance. Like you're coming into, this could very well be a relationship. This could be a work relationship, like a partnership in a business. But you already know, and you've got your sights set, and like, even, you know, she's sitting here, she's got her sights set, but she's like holding on to a face. So she's like literally being carried, even though she has wings, towards what it is that she wants. And you've got your eye on what you want, but you're being carried through this transformation here. You're being supported through this transformation to get you to this alliance and this partnership, whatever that may mean for you. So let me pull an animal spirit card for you all, Tauruses. What animal spirit will best support my Tauruses this month? And when we go through this eclipse, just know that eclipses bring really swift energy, transformative energy. So we got the rabbit and the otter. Do you know otters mate for life and they hold hands when they sleep? I love them. But otters are builders. They're master builders, right? They work together in rivers to build dams. And then rabbits, usually, this one actually came out reversed. So I'm going to read it that way. Rabbits are actually, they live in fear a lot. Like they eat really quickly. They fornicate really quickly. They poop a lot when they poop, you know, and they're always looking over their shoulder, just making sure that something isn't going to swoop down and get them, like that owl, right? So I think that what this is saying is like, you need to shift out of the fear and come into this energy of working together, the partnerships and alliance, that reward and recognition, to honoring the things that are most important to you and the people that are most important to you, and being able to get out of your own way, get out of your, I don't want to say deception and lies, because I don't really think it's like a lie that you're telling yourself. I just think you have a limited viewpoint of what you have seen the way things can be, and it hasn't been good, right? It hasn't been fulfilling, or it hasn't fed you in a way that you have needed, Taurus, right? You needed, like Tauruses, you guys are grounded, you guys are steady, you guys are passionate, and you're ruled by Venus, which is all about like sex and pleasure and beauty, you know? And so you tend to like the beautiful things in life, and you steep yourself in pleasure and things that are pleasurable to you, right? And so when something hasn't been pleasurable to you, it's interesting, and it makes sense why you wouldn't want to go towards that again, right? Why you wouldn't want to keep repeating the same mistake over and over again. I get that. But in letting go of that viewpoint and seeing things from a broader perspective, seeing things from this like area of working together as opposed to, are you okay, Bree? Sorry, my dog has a little, she's an old lady. She gets a little hack every now and then. But like working together here to build something new, to build that dam, that foundation, right? And working in partnership, in tandem with someone or something. It's not about being the lone wolf anymore. It's not about being the scared rabbit. It's about owning your power, working together, honoring where you can't do things on your own and you need that other person or that thing in your life, right? That's where that recognition and reward comes from, of saying like, yo, you've really helped me, or I'm so appreciative of like who you are in my life and how you've stood by me, or, you know, oh, this thing is really important to me and I need to honor that this thing is really important to me because it really helps keep me grounded in who I am and what I want in the world, right? Whatever that person is or that thing is, like this is what we're talking about. It's working together with that thing, utilizing that as something that you can bring into your physical reality and use to leverage yourself up into this new idea, into this new paradigm, and letting go of the old stuff, because the old stuff isn't where it's at. And whatever this is that's asking you to step forward towards and to recognize, that is not the old stuff. Whatever that is not the old stuff. It's not the old energy. It's not the same vibrational frequency. It doesn't give off the same vibes. And Taurus, you know it. You all right, Queen? Okay, I'm gonna pull an oracle card now for you guys. What other oracle message do you have for my beautiful bulls, my beautiful Tauruses, please, Spirit? Thank you. Okay, we got a few of them. We got the Roots, Revelation's Call, Expanse, and Land of Oz. All right, yep. So the Roots is all about your foundation. When we think about anything growing out of the ground, that's all about, you have to have strong roots so you can grow out and up. So when the weather comes, when the wind blows, when storms roll through, you're not being blown over because you have strong roots. You have that strong foundation, right? So foundation, I think, is a really big word for you Tauruses this month. Work on your foundation. Work on what foundation means to you. Work on growing your roots. I mean, if you guys just went through this huge tower moment of like your life kind of falling apart and you being held hostage in whatever that was, then know that there's a, what's the word? Like a reclamation happening now. And that is from the roots up, from the ground up. You're growing and reworking your foundation to work for you. Honor your heart, honor what it is that you want, honor your needs, and literally speak that out loud. Tell your needs to this other person or to this thing or entity, or, you know, if this is a partnership with business, like you need to express what these needs are that need to be met in order for you to feel safe and comfortable in this container, whatever that is. Okay, so this is the crone here. This is the crow on top of this set of roots or rock or whatever. And this is like trusting your instinct and intuition. This is your deep internal knowing, and almost like the ancestral, like crone energy is old ancient wisdom. So like, you already know. And I feel like, I don't know if that was you guys last month, but that term, you know, I felt like I said that a lot for somebody, and I feel like maybe that was you, Taurus. But right here with this crone, it's like, you already know what you need to do. And when it comes to planting your roots and to growing your roots deeper, being honest with yourself and being honest with that other person or the other thing in your life that really does help you stay grounded, right? Like, there's an honoring in this. And when we think about ancestors, we have to honor our ancestors. We have to honor the wisdom that's come before us. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to your intuition and that like deep soul stuff, because it's really speaking to you. And then that will bring up your revelations call, right? So with that, when we think about having a revelation, it's like these aha moments where you get lifted up almost out of the darkness, out of the storm, out of the depths, and you begin to see the full kind of spectrum around what's happening. So I think that this month you guys I think a lot of you Tauruses are having your revelation, you're having your aha moments, you're having these soul calls. My whole left leg is completely dead asleep right now, which is so weird, but it's like almost around, when we think about the left side of the body, that's the feminine side of the body. So maybe this is you dealing with either your feminine side, your emotions, your way of receiving, whether that's love, or receiving support or help from others. But there's like this wake up call that's happening with you guys. Like finally, I'm starting to get pins and needles in my foot, which is so interesting, right? So, I do think that a lot of you Tauruses are going through a big revelation or aha moment right now. This could also denote maybe a feminine that you are dealing with. And that doesn't have to be a female, but if you are more masculine or you're dealing with somebody that's very feminine, whether that is male or female, they just hold more of that feminine energy. That could also be the feminine here, right? With that left side, that you're waking up to this feminine pull or this feminine call that is pulling you towards it. Okay. And then we had expanse. Remember this sacrifice card where I was like, oh, she's opening up her arms and literally expanding. When we think about expanding our heart and our chest and opening up to something new, this is the experience we do. This is the literal like body expression that we do to expand. You know, when we think about bringing our arms out, opening up our chest, opening our heart to expand and allow, that's this expansion energy here. So you are, Tauruses, expanding this month. You are expanding your container, you're expanding your vision, you're expanding your perspective and your view, expanding your heart, letting more love in, opening up and expanding your container to let more in the sense of new and never before known or seen things, right? Like this is new energy for you. And instead of shutting down our heart, if we've been hurt, instead of shutting down our desire if it doesn't get met, instead of shutting down, if we expand more, we crack ourselves wide open, and the things that were shadows we shed light on, and then they become less of a shadow and more of a superpower, then a gift for us. And that's where this, ooh, did you see that? I don't know if you saw that on camera, but it like spun out of my hand and like did a bunch of flips. That's where this Land of Oz comes from, this dream, right? Your idea and ideal situation is out there. And when we think about the Wizard of Oz, how, you know, when they get to Oz, it's all Technicolor, right? It's all beautiful and full of color. And the actual, what's his name? The Oz, or the guy, you know, how they say, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. You know, it's all a facade, right? And that's kind of what I'm feeling. It's like you've been living in this facade, but it's like you need to pull the curtain back now on what it is that is actually really available to you. Pulling the curtain back on your dreams, pulling the curtain back and not limiting yourself anymore on what it is that you want, what it is that you need, what it is that you truly desire, because there's something so foundationally pure here, this new sense of foundation in your physical reality, like that's coming. It's coming, Taurus, and it's now time for you to say yes to it. It's now time for you to see that there's just been a puppet master behind the curtain, and that there's so much more than that one person having the answers, right? Like, you already have the answers within yourself. You don't need somebody else to tell you that. I'm just here to be a conduit to help you pull the curtain back and maybe reaffirm the things that you've already been feeling. That's it. I'm not telling you anything new that your soul already doesn't know. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I will tell every single one of my clients that. Yes, I may be able to see things. And yes, I may be able to see kind of like future projections of where your spirit and soul is going. Yes, I may be able to connect with spirits and channel, but at the same time, we all have these abilities. We just have to learn how to tune in and tap in. I'm just super tapped in and tuned in and on and ready for it, right? Where I think a lot of us, we just tend to overstimulate ourselves and maybe check out, or maybe we're too sensitive and don't want to tune into it, you know. But I think that we put walls up based on our experiences. And so we all have these abilities within us, is what I'm saying. And all of my clients, every single time we drop in a session, it's like, oh, I was already feeling that, or oh, I was getting that. And it's like, yeah, I'm just here to help reaffirm your own intuition, so that way you begin to believe it more, so that way you begin to strengthen it more. All right, so I'm going to pull one last card for you, Tauruses. It's going to be a moon card of what energy you're needing to carry this month. Okay, attraction, supermoon. You need to just literally, like, when we think about attracting anything into our lives, when we think about manifestation or anything like that, being a master manifester or a super magnet and attractor, we have to be in alignment with it. We have to be in alignment with our words, with our thoughts, and with our action. So if you're saying that you want something, right? Like, let's say you want a relationship and you want to have a family. So if you're saying that, like, then your words and your thoughts and your actions all need to align to that same timeline of you having and acquiring. Is that the right word? Acquiring. I don't know where that other word came from, but acquiring that, right? And you have to believe so much that you are worthy not only of having a love that you dream of, but that this person can show up for you in that way. So those are the thoughts, right? You have to understand what you're thinking about the type of love that you deserve and the type of love that you want. And then the type of love that you need. All three of those need to be in alignment in your thoughts, in the things that you say to others. So if you are bashing the other sex or saying that something that they don't show up for you, or, you know, then your thoughts and your words are not in alignment, right? You have to shift or cut that story off, whatever that is, and think about and start to say, no, I'm going to be in a healthy relationship. I am attracting a healthy relationship. I know what I want, and I know that person is out there. You need to be in sync with your thoughts and your words and the things that you're speaking to others, right? And then in your actions. So that too has to be in alignment as well. So if you're really wanting to be in a relationship and there's already somebody in the picture, then it's you engaging with that person, okay? If there's not somebody in the picture, then it's you going out and putting yourself in situations, that will connect you with certain people that maybe possibly you can engage with and make that connection with. right? So whether that's online dating, whether that's getting out and engaging with new people, doing new things, getting out of your comfort zone and going to different places that maybe normally you wouldn't go to. So like, let's say you're wanting a really healthy relationship. Maybe you're not wanting to meet somebody in a bar when you're inebriated, right? Maybe that's starting to go to the library. Maybe that's talking to somebody at the grocery store that you find attractive, you know, or going on a walk or joining a community garden, right? Something that is really healthy, going on a hike, you know, and engaging with somebody on the hike. You never know who you're going to meet and where you're at, but sometimes what I'm saying here is you have to put yourself out there in different ways. So, and that way has to align with the way in which you're wanting to, okay? And yes, sometimes everything aligns up when we're not trying to do anything, when we fully let go of it, right? That's when everything falls into place. So just know that your energy that you need to hold is just to be this attraction, and hold your frequency and the vision for what it is that you want, what it is that you need, and what would ultimately fulfill that dream for you. And then get in alignment, words, thoughts, and actions all together. Okay, Taurus, I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Be sure to watch your rising and moon sign as well to get the fullness of the whole overview of what this month holds for you guys. I love you. Peace. And oh, I forgot to tell you, if you're still with me, I do have a mastermind that I am creating and calling beautiful souls into beautiful conscious souls. So if this sounds like something you would want to be a part of, if you don't know what masterminding is, I will put the link below and you can read more about it. All right, guys, love you. Peace.